The first is one that we've known for a long time. It's never really taught to us, but it was always something we knew. We learned it amongst sandboxes and budding friendships in our preschool classes. It was that learning is actually really fun. Right now, that seems like kind of a foreign and crazy concept, considering it's finals, and most of us have probably cried a lot, had a lot of breakdowns, but it is. Learning is about learning with friends, and that's what we knew back then. Over time, of course, we all seem to forget this with homework and academic classes and all that jazz, but it is something that deep down we still know. Last summer, I learned this again. In my college-level psychology class, I learned that learning is fun. I thrived in that class. I did well, I enjoyed my professor and how we learned. I also learned that I'm smart. This may be a surprise to some of you guys, and maybe it's not, but it sure as hell was for me. I was taught from a very young age that I wasn't smart. From family and from school and friends, it was just kind of something I was meant to assume. And I believed it for a really long time, until then, when I did well. Going into sophomore year, my perspective was totally changed. I started doing really well because I fit subjects to fit me instead of changing myself to fit subjects. History, instead of a boring factual timeline of the world, was a soap opera that had simply been going on for a few millennia. English was all about the puns, and I really enjoyed it. Of course, my self-confidence isn't always a constant, as you can probably tell right now with my shaking hands and quivering voice. But it is something that sorry. But sometimes things won't work out for you. They just don't. School can start feeling like if it's meant to be, it will be, which is not the case. Well, it is for some things. Some things will never change. But you aren't one of those things. Sometimes you just need to slap yourself in the face and get in the game, because there's always opportunity to get better. Earlier this year, we did a presentation on revolution. I personally did my paper on autocratic rulers and why people follow them. I killed that paper. I did super well, I researched for hours, I know a bunch about the subject now, and I got a really good grade on that paper. Of course, even though I killed that paper killed me in return. The research fried my brain before I was anywhere near done, and it's honestly one of the hardest projects I've ever done. But it's also one of the ones I've enjoyed the most, because even though it was really emotionally straining, I learned so much, and it was super rewarding. Also, okay, I personally am academically smart. You are also smart. Maybe you believe this, maybe you don't, but it's the truth. You don't have to be smart in one way. Grades don't don't define intelligence, no matter how much it feels like that in school. Do you know a lot about dancing? Awesome. Do you happen to know a lot about the migration patterns of cuttlefish? Dope. Just trust me when I say, you are smart, and when you find something you enjoy learning about, nothing can hold you back.